Hi, everyone. My name is Seth. I am a teacher at Milano Meravigli, one of our three Milan schools. There should be another teacher joining me. She's having some computer trouble. So we'll see if she makes her way in. Uh, anyways, so today I'm going to begin with an introduction of myself, like we do it in all of our classes. So, as I said, my name is Seth, and Seth Knight. I'm from the United States. Um, I am. Uh, I've been living in Milan for about 3.5 years. I'm very happy here. I like Milan quite a lot. The last few weeks, a little strange. Hi, Katerina. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. Um, so, uh, what else can I say about me? I think that's about it. That's a good general introduction. Um, Let me share with you guys our lesson today. So, today we're going to be doing this lesson called Pet Peeves. It's kind of a fun lesson. A lot of talking, especially stories for me today. But I encourage you, please, as you watch and as you listen, if you have anything that you want to share, please feel free to type some comments, and I will respond to them as we see them. Oops. Okay. Hello. Oh, nice. A lot of people talking today. Thank you for that. It makes it more interesting for me as well. Okay. So we can get started. So our lesson is called Pet Peeves. And first we need to begin by explaining what that is. um, so here we can see what we're doing today. So talking about common pet peeves, and the next, our next objective, phrases for complaining, can help us maybe understand a bit what a pet peeve is. Pet peeves are things that bother us. Pet peeves are things that we don't like that other people do. We'll see a lot of examples today. So usually when someone does something that is a pet peeve, we complain, maybe directly to Katerina asks if a pet peeve is like a fixation. It's a close idea. Sometimes a pet peeve can be something exaggerated. Um, let's go on, because then we can see how it's explained better. So what is a pet peeve? Here in the picture, you get a good example. So you can see, where are these people? They're at the movies, and there's a guy on his phone, which would make everyone else, as you can see, very angry. So the pet peeve is something that bothers you. So I want to see here if they have these better. Okay, so some examples for me, like pet peeves that I have. These will be different for everyone, okay? So my pet peeves are, I do not like when people are eating. I don't like when they make a lot of noises with their mouth. So if someone is eating and they're going, I hate that. I hate that. For me, it's a pet peeve. Other things maybe like, again, like I said, I live in Milan, and a disturb, yeah, something that disturbs us. Uh, all right. Oops. I'm writing here. What have I spelled this wrong? There we go. So, um, when I ride the bus or the metro and the doors open and people step inside the metro or they step into the bus and then they stop and I'm behind them and I can't get on. It makes me crazy. So these pet peeves are these things that bother us, these little things that make us, why are you doing that? And we all have a different things that bother us, right? Here are some expressions we might use to talk about this. If you want to, I see that we have a few people watching. So if you have a particular pet peeve, you can use one of these sentences here to, maybe you can share with us. Type, share your pet peeve. My biggest pet peeve is definitely food noises. Hate it. I can't stand it. Another big pet peeve is what else do I have? I have so many. In public, I don't like when people with their phone are texting while they walk. And then sometimes, it's happened to everyone, I think, where you're walking on the street and someone is busy with their phone and they don't see you, right? These things bother you, they bother us. Another way just to express, I really hate it when, another one, my mother. I love my mother. I love my mother very much. But I really hate it when I call my mother and she answers the phone and she just says, oh, hi, Seth. Did I tell you? And she's off. She goes. Did I tell you that I saw blah, 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 blah? I think, Mom, shh. My turn. I want to talk. A pet peeve. A lot of them. So 3 ways that we can talk about something be bothering us. I want to just write here a few of these words that I've used too. So, bother. So a verb that we use a lot with this, it bothers me when. It bothers me when someone does something. Some of the other things we wrote. Disturb. So a moment ago, Sadia wrote like to disturb, and disturb is a little different in English. Disturb is more, if you say, it disturbs me when something happens. In this way in English, disturb has more to do with, it's a bad thing. It's maybe if I see very young children drinking alcohol, that's disturbing. It's bad. If I see a 25-year-old or a 30-year-old in the piazza drinking, I think, okay, it's okay because their age is okay. But if something is disturbing, there's more emotion. It's stronger. It's something bad, right? Right now, we have this coronavirus. The coronavirus is disturbing. It makes you worry. It's disturbing. Disturbing is a bit stronger. Let's keep on going here. There's another one. Can you think of other ways to say that something annoys you? And again, we could say, it annoys me when, or we could maybe also say, it annoys me when something happens. It annoys me when I go to a restaurant and I sit down and for 15 minutes, no one helps me. This annoys me. It annoys me. So it annoys me when is one way we could say it. It bothers me when, and then also here on our slide, my biggest pet peeve, one of my biggest pet peeves, I really hate it when. Always to talk about things that we don't like. Let's keep going. So now we get to this part about complaining. Complaining. And what is complaining? A little bit different from Italian as well, right? But complaining is, so something is happening that we don't like and we want to talk about it. We do this a lot with our friends, really, right? So put these phrases for complaining in order from the weakest to the strongest. I'm going to ask again, if you are watching, maybe can you begin? So with the weakest, if we look at these 7, which of these do you think are very gentle, light ways to complain? I'll read them for us. Here we go. Number 1. Now is a good time you can practice some pronunciation. So if you want to, you can listen and speak at home to listen to your pronunciation. So I can't stand it when blah, blah, blah. It gets on my nerves when. It annoys me to no end when. It bugs me when. It bothers me when. I hate it when. It drives me crazy when. So all of these are the same idea, but some of them are very strong and some of them are not. I think I see here that Sadia has written that she thinks that I can't stand it is a weak thing. I would say that I can't stand it is pretty strong. I'm going to click now, and we're going to start to see these. So it bothers me, not very strong. It bothers me when something happens. The next one, it bugs me. Bugs and bothers, pretty similar. It bugs me when, it bothers me when. What does it bug me? It bugs me when something that bugs me. I think it bugs me a little if I'm walking in the street again, and in Milano there are many tourists, and sometimes, especially if you're in Piazza del Duomo or near Castello Sforzesco, there are lots of people, and it bugs me when, especially if I'm trying to walk very fast, if I'm going, and people are moving very slowly, and I think, okay, I want to go. I want to go by you. It bugs me. They're very slow. So not too strong. Next, it gets on my nerves when. It gets on my nerves. So again, these 3 not super strong. Next, it annoys me to no end. Starting to get stronger. Starting to get stronger. Next, I hate it. Hate is pretty strong. Hate is strong. It drives me crazy when, and I can't stand it when. The strongest. Can't stand. If you can't stand something, that's very strong. It's a really strong way of saying that you hate something. So here we have this order: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In general, I think if you think that 1, 2, and 3 pretty light, 4, 5, 6, 7 pretty strong. So all ways to talk about things that you don't like. Can any of you guys at home, can you send a message? Tell us something that you don't like, that maybe that other people do. We're going to continue for now, though. Also, if you have any questions, please feel free to type your questions. Okay. Here, so this is a good part. So it says in pairs. Obviously, we cannot work in pairs. But please now, can you send something that bothers you, something that you don't like that other people do? Maybe something your mother or your father or your husband or your wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, or even just people in general, things that people do. Oh, I know, I'm thinking of one. For me, pretty strong too. I think I'm going to use this one. It drives me crazy when I go to the movies, to the cinema. It drives me crazy when people talk during the movie. I think it's very rude. Sadia says, it drives me crazy when I go out with a couple. Do you mean by this, Sadia, that you go with two other people? So there's a couple and then there's you. Is that what you intend when you say this? Because it's true. It can make you crazy if you're alone with a couple and then the conversation is a little unbalanced because you have the couple and then you have you. Yeah. Anything else that anyone has, please feel free to share with us. Yes, alone with the couple. Yeah, Sadia, I agree. Sometimes it can be difficult to be alone with a couple. Trying to think other things. I think of my mother a lot. I love my mother. In general, just because, I live in Italy, my mother lives in the United States, so the contact I have is all with the phone. And sometimes, I can show you what my mother does. So often when I talk to my mom, we talk with the camera, so that we can see each other. And my mom, sometimes, the phone comes on and she's like this. Hi, Seth, it's your mother. And the whole conversation, I see this. And I say to her, Mom, move, because all I see is your mouth. And then she goes like this. Is that better? Is that better, Seth? I'm like, Mom, what's wrong with you? Fix this. This drives me crazy. I love my mom very much. But my mother and technology, 0. Nice one, Sadia. Oh, I'm going to share this one. It's a good one. Good job, Sadia. It gets on my nerves. Oops, watch your spelling. It gets on my nerves. Nerves. When I forget to charge my phone. Yeah. Excellent. I often do this as well. You go to bed at night, maybe, and you forget. My phone's getting low. I'm at 10%. Nice. Just watch the spelling, right? It gets on my nerves. So you have written, it gets on my nervous, and we want it gets on my nerves. Nerves. You can see the spelling over here. Gets on my nerves. Nice. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Okay, let's keep going. So now, if we go back here for a moment, so here we've talked about how we complain, things we can say to complain. And now we're going to start talking about what we can do. So what do we do? So we have the question, what do you do when something annoys you? Of course, this depends on the situation an awful lot. But so let's imagine here for a minute. Here we have many different circumstances, many different situations. So here also, if you want, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 situations. If you want to write a comment, how you react in a particular one of these moments, please share with us. So what do you do when A person is talking on their mobile phone in the cinema. I already told you, for me, this is one of my pet peeves. Usually, I ask people to be quiet. I begin like this. So I'm watching the movie, and over here there's some people talking. So first, I think like everyone. So back behind me, people talking. Blah, blah, blah. So first I do the things like, you look at them, you try and get them to react. But eventually I do. I talk. I talk to them. So, and usually I'm not very polite. I usually say, please stop talking. I paid for this. If you need a conversation, leave. Yeah? Very nice. Sadia, I like you. If a person, this is excellent. If a person is talking on their mobile phone in the cinema, I hit him with popcorn. Sounds like a good plan. Good plan. Let's look at the next one. What do you do when a couple is kissing in public? For me, this depends on where I am. If usually I just ignore it. I remember maybe it was a few weeks ago, I was in the metro and next to me, two people were kissing, and it was a little strange because they were kissing a lot, and I just I turned and I let them kiss, but it was a little exaggerated, the amount of kissing that they were doing. Okay, next one. What do you do when someone near you is smoking? Again, smoking doesn't always bother me so much. Sometimes even if I'm having a drink, I will have a cigarette. So smoking for me is not always. Yeah, Sadia also wrote, depends on the situation. So yeah, depends. Oh God, the next one. What do you do when someone is eating loudly? This for me is the worst. I hate this. The difficult part is that if I say to someone, can you please change it, then I look like the bad person. So usually, well, thankfully, most of my friends are polite people, and they don't make a lot of noise when they eat. So I don't always have to worry about it too much. I think probably if someone is eating loudly, I would leave. I would move. If I can move, I move. What do you do when you are in a traffic jam? I don't have a car, so I'm pretty patient. I'm patient in the car because I'm not in a car very often. So now if I'm in a traffic jam, I wait. I'm okay. And what do I do when the person you are waiting for is late? What do you do? Also with this, nowadays with our phone, it's easy to wait because we can talk to people, we can do things. I usually also have a book with me. So if someone is late, I read, or I send them a message and say, hey, how long? Where are you? Yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Now we have, I try to change the first. Okay, so Sadia, you're talking about the traffic jam, I think. Sadia says, I think in the traffic jam, you try to change the first free street. A little better, a little bit, let me just fix one little thing. We would probably English say, I try to take the first free street. Maybe just a little bit, a little better. I try to take the first free street. Yeah, nice job, Sadia. That's perfect. It's Good job. Okay, so now we've talked about what is annoying, and we've talked about how we can complain, and then now we've talked about what we do, and now we want to talk about what can we say to people. So if we choose to actually approach the person and say, please stop, what words can we use? Please stop is very strong. So, very strong. But here you can see, use these words to make request phrases. Okay, so let's take a look at these. Again, if you want to type, so if you like put the number and then the word that you think is correct. Yeah, Sadia, you've already did the first one. You already did. So could you please stop talking during the film? Thank you, Sadia. You're perfect today. We're working hard. I'd appreciate it if you smoked elsewhere, please. The third one, excuse me, but would you not swearing in front of my children? And then we'll talk about some of these other words in a moment. And then the last one, it would be if you could cover your mouth when you sneeze. So it would be great. It would be great. So I want to look at this one. Actually, down here, we have the structures. So it would be great if you could, and then the infinitive, right? So I talked about people with the metro. Maybe I could say to them, you know, it would be great if you enter into the metro. If you could enter into the metro, could you please stop doing something? Would you mind? And notice here we have not. We often probably going to say not. Would you mind not doing something? Or I appreciate it if you, and this one's interesting, past simple. I'd appreciate it if you stopped. If we look at number 2, I'd appreciate it if you smoked. Past simple. I want to look at this word. This word sometimes is a new word. So excuse me, but would you mind not swearing? What is swearing? To swear. Swearing is so the infinitive is to swear. And swearing is saying inappropriate words. In English, we also call them bad words. Hello, Filippo, no problem. No problem. Think in Italian, you have expressions like che cavolo, but that's not swearing. Cavolo, we can change with a different word. That's a word we do not say in front of our mother. There. Yeah, swearing. Okay, so we have these 4 expressions. This is the grammar part to remember. So it would be great if you could stop, if you could go, if you could listen. Could you please stop doing? Would you mind doing? I'd appreciate if you stopped. Past simple. Notice also in English, it's quite normal for us to ask this as a question. I'm asking you, could you please, and even saying please, I'm not happy, but I ask a question and I say please. It's quite normal for us in English to say things in a very kind way, but our intention is very strong, but it's the way we speak. We're indirect in the way that we ask. Christina has written, yeah, so that swearing are not polite words. That's correct. That's correct. They're strong. They're strong. Okay. Let's continue on, you guys. We'll go on to here. So now is another time where if you would like to help, if you want to share some answers, we're using again these, okay, these structures. It would be great if, could you please stop? Would you mind? I'd appreciate it if you. And here we have some specific situations. So what can you say to people in these situations? So I invite you please to share with us what you will say. So what can you say if someone is blowing bubbles with chewing gum? That's the picture. She is blowing bubbles with chewing gum. What can you say to make someone stop? I think I would say something like this. I think I would say, because again, in English, we like to be polite. We like to be kind in the way that we ask, even if inside I'm very angry. I ask in a kind way. So I think I would say something like, would you mind not blowing bubbles right now? I think I would probably say it with something like this. Even though in my brain I'm thinking, stop it, stop. I would say it in a nice way. Could you please stop chewing gum? That's another good one. Could you please stop chewing gum? Yeah. Okay, let's look at the next one. Oops, let me turn this off. There we go. What can you say if someone is picking their nose in public? Picking your nose is this. That's picking your nose. In this case, I don't think you need to be polite. You can just say, stop that, please. Stop. Stop picking your nose. It's disgusting. That's disgusting. Okay, what can you say if a couple are fighting at a party? I think in this case, if a couple were fighting, I think I would ask them to go outside. I would say, you guys, do you mind going outside? We have an expression actually that will say, let me take it. Whoops, sorry, I'm typing it for you. Take it outside. So I might say something like, whoops, would you mind taking it outside? I might say something like this. And so this means, the people are angry. Would you mind going outside? Talk about this outside. It's not appropriate here. Okay, next. Would you mind, what can you say if someone uses inappropriate language? Like we said before, swearing. If someone is swearing, saying inappropriate language. I think in this case I might say, I'm sorry, but it's better to speak differently here. Nice. I like this. I really appreciate it. Oops, I really appreciate if you don't touch me with your finger. You picked your nose with it. You picked your nose with it. Nice. Ooh. Yuck. Oh, thank you. I think Emily's inside now. So next, let me put this away. What can you say if someone who is ill coughs and, oh, this one is very important right now, isn't it? This one's very important. What can you say of someone who is ill, who is sick, coughs and sneezes near you? First, let's talk about those two words. These are important words for right now. Coronavirus, exactly. To cough, this is coughing. To cough. And to sneeze is the big one. To sneeze is the sneezing. So I do not, Filippo. I do not. I hope. So to cough and to sneeze when we're sick. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. You guys are doing a very good job using all of it. Excellent. The coronavirus, and now we speak. Now everyone is talking. Yeah, so coughing and sneezing. In general, in December, if someone was coughing and sneezing near me, probably I would look at them. In December. Now, if someone coughs or sneezes, I run away. So, you guys have all written really nice things. Thank you. Yes, just to show. From Francie, is it Francesca? I don't know. The spelling, disgusting. Disgusting. Yeah. Nice job. Would you mind, we might say, would you mind moving? Would you mind moving apart? Or would you mind moving away? Yeah. Okay. Let's keep going, you guys. Let's keep going. Thank you for the coronavirus. We got chatty. Can I ask you guys also, because we have a few people watching, can you write, where are you right now? Like, I'm in Milan. Can you tell us where you are? I'm curious. Where are you? Okay. Now we have some situations to think about where maybe we want to complain, okay? So it would be great if, here we have the situation. You live in a flat with, well, you can just imagine. You live in a flat with some other people. Talk about what annoys you about living with them. You must be very polite and explain why you feel this way. So maybe what you guys can do is, I think that Emily is in here with me. Emily, can you also maybe share some things that you would say to your roommate, your flatmates? So if you live with someone, can you share with us, what can you say to them, to the people that you live with, about the things that annoy you? Let's see. I live with my partner, and maybe, you know, sometimes when we eat breakfast, there's a lot of noise. And maybe I could say to him, could you please, especially when he swallows, when he drinks, I hear, I hate it. He knows, though. I've told him many times, please don't swallow this way. Francie has said, I'm in my home in Milan. I love to stay at home, but now it's similar to a prison because I can't go out. It's true. It's a little bit difficult. We're all, in English, we have this nice expression for when when we're like right now, like Francis, you said you feel like you're in prison. This is really, really strong to say, I feel like I'm in prison. And we have another expression that we use. We say to have cabin fever. Whoops, just a moment. I'm typing it for you. To have cabin fever. And you can even just say, I can't, well, this is the truth for us, right? I haven't left my house in 2 weeks. I have cabin fever. The cabin is like the little, a little house, right? So imagine, it's how we all are. Yeah, everyone, you guys are sharing nice things with us. There's my thing about cabin fever. I haven't left my house in 2 weeks. I have cabin fever. And now I want to share some of the nice things you guys have showed us. Sadia said, could you be more organized? Very nice, polite, very good. And Filippo has said, could you keep the room a bit tidy? Very good, very good. Nice things. You guys are good at this. Good job. I also saw, so Sadia told me that she's in Modena, near Bologna, and Ashley is in Milan. Francie's in Milan. Nice. Christine has just said, nice, Christina. Christina says, it would be great if you could close the door and could open the window when you go on the toilet. I want to just correct one little thing here. When you go to, actually, I would say when you use the toilet. It's maybe a little, just a little bit more natural sounding. Emily, thank you for sharing. Maybe you just want to say this when you use the toilet. Emily has shared this one. Hi, this is Emily. I recently asked my flatmate, please, could you wipe the table after you eat? Very nice. So wipe the table, right? Clean the top of the table. Nice job. Thank you, Emily. Ashley has another nice one for us. Could you lower the volume of the TV? There's one tiny little mistake with this. Could you whoops, I'm writing it for you. Lower. But I'm making lots of mistakes. Could you lower the volume? Could you lower the volume? Low is just, high, low. But we want, the verb is to lower. Yeah. There we go. To lower. Could you lower the volume? Nice job, you guys. Very nice. Very, very good. Okay. I think we have one more little thing we can do here. So now, you guys, we have just a bit of things to review. Francie, also one tiny mistake here. Could you shout up, please? I want to sleep. It's 1 a.m. Not shout up. Could you not shout? Wrong word. Could you shut? Could you shut up is the correct verb. So to shout is a verb, right? To shout. This is shouting right now. Shout. But the verb we want is to shut up, which means, and that's not a very nice thing to say. Shut up is pretty strong. In my family, when I was a child, my mother did not like shut up, the word. She didn't like it. And I have a sister. If I said to my sister, or if my sister said to me, shut up, we had to give my mother 25 cents. So nice question here from Filippo. And he also, thank you, he just corrected his spelling. Shout and scream. So what is the difference between shout and scream? Emily, what do you think? To me, they're the same. Screaming is maybe even more, they're the same. But screaming to me sounds, yes. Emily said that scream has more fear, and I would agree. So if you are in your apartment and outside you hear voices, but you can tell it's just people talking very loudly, you could say, oh, there are people shouting. But if you hear someone scream, you think, oh my goodness, is there a problem? Is something wrong? So both of them are loud voices. So the difference may be if you are at home and your partner or your flatmate shouts from the other room, hey, can you bring me some water? Maybe they shout at you because they need their voice to be loud. But if your roommate screams, you would say, oh my gosh, what's wrong? What's wrong? I have to go. I have to go. So screaming has more fear. It's good? Clear? Good question, Filippo. Thank you. All right. Okay, let's do some review then. We have just a few minutes. So what are the different ways that we can say something annoys us? This is from the beginning of our lesson. Here we have one example. I can't stand it when. Maybe you can think back to the beginning of our lesson. Some other ways we can say, I can't stand it when. I think we had 7 different ways. It bothers me. It bugs me. I hate it when. Let's go back. Let's look at them. There they are. Here they are. Lots of them here. I hate it. It annoys me. It gets on my nerves. It drives me crazy. All ways to say, this thing is... Right now, the cabin fever, being inside, it's getting kind of annoying. I'm just going to say it's a bit annoying just being inside all the time. But it's okay. It's all right. I cook a lot. I cook and I read and I write music. Okay, let's go back to these questions. So now the last question, what can you do what can you say to someone who is doing something annoying? You guys gave some really nice examples. I'm going to go look for them again. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? There they are. Here's one from Sadia. Could you be more organized, please? Very nice. Could you keep the room tidy? Could you? Are there some more? Everyone used could you. Let's look back at the other ones. Everyone wrote could you, and I want a different one. Whoops. Where are they? There they are. Could you please? I'd appreciate it if. Would you mind not doing something? It would be great if you could, blah, 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 blah. Nice. Okay. I think we're at the end, you guys. We are. Okay. Well, thank you for coming. And thank you for participating. It makes it much more fun for us teachers. You know, at the school, it's always so nice to talk with everyone. And now here I talk to myself. Emily is a colleague. She is also in the room with us, but unfortunately her camera is giving her some trouble. But thank you guys for coming. Keep studying, keep reading, keep watching TV, find ways to speak English and come to these lessons, you know. It's a good opportunity to keep hearing and practicing. And thank you all. We'll see you later. And have a good evening. Bye-bye.